So I am here with Erica Medina. She is the Chef de Cuisine of the Grill Restaurant at the Country Club of Virginia, which is in Richmond. But you only joined recently. You spent most of your career in Kansas City, right?
Yeah, I just got to the Country Club of Virginia about 5 weeks ago. Before that, I was at Indian Hills for 5 years, and then I was at Kansas City Country Club prior to that. I also did my apprenticeship at Ocean Reef. So that was lovely to kind of see all of the different size scales and, what a small club looks like and then an intimate membership, and then, creativity Disneyland is Ocean Reef is kind of how I always refer to it. If you can think it, they can build it, and the sky's the limit there.
Yeah, what did you get to do when you were there?
So for their apprenticeship program, they kind of like rotate all of the apprentices through all of the outlets, and then you select where you wanted to be. So I ended up in the Islander, so I kind of rotated between all of the restaurants that they serve out of there, between the beach grill and the PM fish and sushi. I loved it, seeing fresh seafood like that at firsthand, and the level of chefs and creativity there is wonderful. But Virginia is nice because, we have that large scale size, but still there's no hotel, so it's not 24-hour business. And working with 7 other colleagues that have the same job as me, there's a lot of camaraderie and collaboration. And when any of us is having, a certain issue or anything in any of our outlets, we can get together and talk about it, and probably somebody else has experienced the same thing. And just a lot of coaching and camaraderie.
And you mentioned it's kind of like a nice balance of size between the clubs you've been at.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think it's really Goldilocks to go from a smaller membership where you know the majority of the people to a larger scale thing where you can still dream and create, and any idea you have, there's an outlet for it, whether it be, a children's program or something like a wine dinner or a chef's table where you're really creating and tailoring things. But also I was most excited to get to Virginia to kind of take away some of the admin tasks and that kind of thing. When you're in a smaller club, you're doing everything yourself. You're running an a la carte kitchen, you're running a banquet kitchen, you're running a pool kitchen. And now I'm at a smaller scale in being a chef de cuisine at an outlet, so where I can take my time and invest it in my team now. Like instead of spending hours and hours at the desk or running from kitchen to kitchen, I can be with my cooks and chefs and really mentor them and give back to them and put everything into it, which to me is really special. I've worked for a lot of people, and you don't really get to see that mentorship opportunity and that much time to invest in your team and grow them and ask them what they're excited about. And we run our features daily, so we have submission sheets, and then the cooks will write down what ideas they have, and they put them in a folder, and then when we're ready for another batch of specials, we pull out that folder. We kind of build on those ideas. Not all of them are stars and ready to go on the menu as is, but we have a large group of people that we can collaborate with and really just build those dishes into something amazing every time.
Is there anything specific that you're looking forward to for this year, next year? What are your goals for the
my
first
goals?
Year or so?
So I have, just got there, landed. Still watching the way that everything goes. But there's room for improvement. A lot of the executive chefs and higher up have been at that club for a long time, which is wonderful. But they haven't seen a lot of the things that I've seen, traveling around the country in different clubs and just seeing a bunch of different chefs. So I'm constantly bringing new things to the table. They're like, oh, I forgot that, that existed, or I haven't seen that yet. And it's, because you've been dedicated to this organization, which is wonderful, and seeing that kind of tenure is unheard of in some places. Just adding freshness to the program and helping organizational structures and creativity and reminding the team and the members and the chefs of what other things there are to the program. We will be adding an apiary to the Country Club of Virginia. This will be my 3rd hive installation on club property. And 10 years ago, we were still wondering if it was possible to keep bees on a golf course with all of the chemicals and things that go into the golf course. And it is possible, and this will be my third installation, which is exciting. The most I've done is about 5 hives at a time, and we're talking, 500 family membership, and now I've got 7,000. So I'm not entirely sure of what that's even going to look like and how many hives we will need to adequately supply all of the members with some honey, as well as using it in the culinary programs. But I'm excited to be able to build a bigger one this time and to involve more of the younger chefs and culinarians. And sometimes you'll even get front of house managers or entirely different departments that are interested in the bees and excited about the bees, and to be able to share that knowledge and also help the planet. Our industry doesn't always make the best impact, but I like adding to it where we can and supporting our location. And every batch of honey I've ever made has been entirely different. At Kansas City Country Club, they have a lot of mint filler around the courses, and so their spring honey is like so mentholated. I've never had a honey like it in my life. And when I was doing it at Indian Hills, which is in the same 5-mile radius, like it wasn't mentholated at all. So I'm really excited to see what the greens at the Country Club of Virginia add to the honey and where that program will go altogether. We're also looking into doing some microgreens and some dry aging. So a lot of ingredient procurement is what I like to do, and that's where I find a lot of my inspiration and creativity, is using the best product and finding or making the best product relevant to the area and location.
And finally, you were in the class of 40 under 40 for Club and Resort Chef. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and what that impact has been for you or for joining the club that you're at now?
Yeah. So actually got it, the first year there was only 5 other girls, which really just put into perspective to me what I'm doing and the value of it, and kind of paving the way for more females to get that spotlight and to also join the savory side and continue to build that. I've seen my now colleagues in the magazine and on the sites, and they're also, several of them have 40 under 40. So it's great to be on that team and to work with such skilled and creative people that are on the same wavelength in terms of goals, creativity, and excitement and passion. And we were seeing each other through websites and paper pages, and now we're together, which is exciting.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us today,
Yes,
Chef.
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Taking time, of course.